But that will give you your ticket there for a registration, and then, well, if you pre-register, that would be 2 registrations for that
So
trip.
you basically get 2 registrations in for the
big grand,
big
yeah.
grand. So it's like, what is it, 7-night, 3-night, 5-night, or what?
You know, I think it's 4 days and 3 nights. I guess I should have really looked at the details of that. But any questions in regards to the trip, Randy from Scuba One will be there answering any questions on the trip. And then he's got all the registrations there, too. And he, of course, picks we pick it there the day of the show. So
now, where did you go on your honeymoon?
We actually were coming into a full wedding season, so we did not take a honeymoon until the following spring. We went to Napa Valley in California. We were kind of winos, so we went to some vineyards and drank some wine, and so
Very
that's
cool.
what we did. Yeah.
So now, what did you see as some of the upcoming trends for decorations for weddings?
One of the main things we've seen lately are like a vintage, your birdcage headpiece, your peacock feathers. There's been a lot of old Hollywood / feathers and that kind of thing coming up. But another trend that we see would be like photo booths. A lot of people are having photo booths in lieu of your typical candy bag favor or whatever. We do have Lee Kading from Digitally Yours coming to the show, so you can actually see, hands-on how they work, and, you have your little costumes and stuff, and then you actually get a little print of the different pictures. So, that's one thing that's nice because the guest gets to keep one, and then they actually go to a little book, the other one. So photo booths are one thing that are becoming popular. Another trend, I don't even know if you want to call it a trend, that we really enjoy working with them too, is uplighting. LED uplighting is super cool for the overall atmosphere of a room.
Meaning what? What does uplighting mean?
Uplighting is like LED lights. So, if you're going to have, say, purple and orange, Void the Void would be one example where they can shoot purple lights and orange lights, and they can set it to the DJ's music. And and another element would be like even lighting in centerpieces. That's one thing that we're finding that we offer as well. We've got light bases that shoot up white light underneath centerpieces, or we've got battery-operated string lights that we can string down into some of the bigger centerpieces. So, when the lights are dim here, you just see these little glows around the tables. It's kind of neat to see.
Very cool. So now what would be some of like the top 5 tips you would give a new bride as she is planning her wedding? What would you say she needs to do?
I would say, first of all, hire a decorator because it's less stress.
And I will totally do that because, like you said, we had hired you for our wedding a couple years ago, and oh my God, you guys did so much work.
Well, and it's just nice to not be able to. A lot of people want to try to take the task on themselves. And a lot of times, even if it's a hotel venue, you won't know if you can get in the night before. They might have something already booked, a convention of some sort. So you can't really guarantee on that. And really, at the end of the night, after a fun night of wedding celebrating, no one wants to take it down. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No relative really secretly wants to help you take down a wedding at the end of the night. So that is nice to have that, stress-free aspect of it. And a lot of times we see when meeting with brides, and they're, sometimes they'll bring a friend or a mom or a mother-in-law to be, a lot of times we'll see the moms could almost not turn it into their wedding, but you can see the brides thinking, I really don't like that, but mom likes it, and mom might be paying, but really you want to make it about you. It's your day. You can only get it, hopefully only do it one time, and you don't want to think back after the fact and go, geez, I wish I would have spoke up, or and done what you wanted to do. But that would be one thing that I would say to recommend to brides, is just remember it's your day, and to just enjoy it. It goes so fast, and, just take the day in and relax and enjoy the day, I guess.
What has been one of your favorite, because the wedding dress is always like a huge part of the wedding, what has been one of your favorite wedding dresses?
Oh, God, we've had such beautiful dresses.
Kind of a hard question,
It's a really hard question, and I couldn't even give you a top 5 because we really have had some stunning dresses come through. Here in town, we always encourage everybody to shop locally here in town with our 4 bridal shops. But, I, to be honest, found my dress at the bridal shop in Fargo. But, it's just one of those things when they know, they know. That's once you have it on and you know it's the one. But I really can't tell you one bride in particular who's dressed, because we just have had such neat dresses come through.
So now, okay, so again, 1 to 4 at the Doublewood.
Yep.
And tickets were, what, $10?
They're $10, yep.
Okay, and now what's going on with the tickets this year?
The tickets, what we're going to be doing is a portion of the tickets, the ticket sales, will be donated to help the flood relief in Minot. So anything after expenses of the show, we'll send a check directly to the flood fight in Minot. So we just wanted to do what we could and help out in that aspect, and do what we can to help the community of Minot.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool of you guys to do something like that.
Yeah.
So now tell me another thing, too. There's always been a bunch of bridal shows on TV. What would you say is your favorite?
I absolutely love David Tutera, of course.
Yes, David Tutera.
I do love that show, My Fair Wedding, and it's nice to see, of course, they've got venues there for about anything you can imagine,
yes,
which we don't have here. But I do love watching that show and, fairy tale weddings and that kind of thing. But not a fan of Bridezillas, but I do love watching
I think it's a guilty pleasure.
I hate that damn show. Yeah. I think a lot of paid actresses there, but
probably.
But
I would hope so, because I hope people are not actually that.
I would,
rude.
And why people marry people like that, I don't know.
That's another thing. So, do you ever get any ideas from My Fair Wedding with David Tutera?
We do. Some elements we do. I wish I could say we could replicate a lot of their stuff, but, there again, they bring in, linen companies that cover all around the room. I mean, that would take us weeks for a mother-daughter team to tackle on. But, we do watch it and get ideas. And, I'd get a call from my mom, are you watching? And I'm like, yeah, or look at that centerpiece. So, we do get some ideas from that. I wish we could say we could replicate a lot of their things, but we don't really have a lot of the venues that they do. And,
it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
We are kind of limited to what we do have here. So
right. We make the best of it. Yeah.
Make the best of it. So now tell me, have you seen the show Four Weddings?
Yes.
Where the brides go to each wedding.
Compete. Yep, I do love that show as well. Yep. And most of the time I look at these shows, and of course they'll be talking about this or that, and I'm just focused in on, look at the decor, look at the, bride's bouquet. So, of course, when I watch these shows, I'm always looking at strictly decor, but I do like that show as well.
So what is kind of your favorite atmosphere to do? Is it more kind of like an Asian theme or another sort of themed wedding? Or what is your kind of favorite look when it comes to a wedding? Is it simple and elegant?
It is simple and elegant. There's so many to even think about. One of our big aspects of any theme of the wedding is candlelight. We really, do a lot of candles around centerpieces, head tables. There's really not a certain... I know I'm not answering your question.
You are.
There's not a certain one that really stands out as far as, we prefer a red rose wedding or... that kind of thing. We just try to make them all so unique where, I don't really have one in particular, a certain theme that I like more so over the other.
So now, as you've been decorating a bunch of weddings, have you ever said, darn, I wish I would have thought of this for mine?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Almost every wedding, I think, yeah, that's really neat. And, some of the things that when I got married or I wasn't aware of them, like the void that come in and really light the whole room up all around the dance floor. I know I would have had something like that, or I would have liked to have that if I would have known of it at the time that I got married. But, pretty much almost every other wedding, or my mom she'll do the centerpieces and we kind of meet at the reception, and every wedding she surprises the heck out of me, and I'll be like, God, those look so cool,
Oh, cool.
But, yeah, there's always stuff that I see between TV or, other weddings we do. I'm like, thinking that would have been really cool, but...
Okay, so now really quick, where do you see Simple Elegance in 5 years' time?
Here in Bismarck still.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of traveling out of town just because, we have a lot of demand here in town. Eventually, we would like to look into office space and have a little, storefront set up like, we talked a little bit about earlier. But it would be nice to have a an office space where they could come in and we can set up some different tablescapes versus meeting in my house where you have, one table jam-packed full of stuff. And it would be nice to have an office where, we could meet here and go over things of that nature. But, I don't know if we'd grow very much more. We always thought about the possibility of maybe doing 2 or 3 weddings in one weekend. But, even to do one, we don't even like to do even Friday, Saturday weddings a lot of times just because the amount of time and work that we put into weddings, it's hours and hours and hours of planning and meeting and setting up and taking down. So, we still will probably continue to only do one wedding a weekend. But who knows, in the future we might come across...
hire more staff.
Yeah, hire more staff and expand. But for now, I think we like to just keep it one a weekend and, keep them very specialized. And
very cool. So, okay, real quick, one more time to talk about the show. When, where, what's the website?
Sure. Sunday, October 16th. It's 1 to 4. It's at the Doublewood Hotel here in town. The show to pre-register is bizmanbridalshow.com. I don't believe all the current vendors have been updated. I know we've got quite a few other vendors to add to the show, but you can pre-register for that Jamaican trip through Scuba One as well. And tickets, again, $10 at the door, and the proceeds will go to the Minot Flood Relief.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Lacey, for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful to see you again.
You too.
Everyone, thank you again for watching this edition of City Chat with City Magazine. Make sure you head to the website at thecitymag.com where you can download the entire issue, as well as read extra content online that's not published in the magazine, and watch past episodes of City Chat with City Magazine. Have a good day.